This may be your last warning concerning the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. Giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Kakwadash. Anyway, this is a video that was sent to me on my new page by GMS Children of Light 2. Commented, and he put a website, and he said in the website that you go to, and what I'll do is I'll put it in. I'll give you the actual title of the video and the website, so you can click right on and watch it. And he said, go start from 10 minutes and 51 seconds in. So I went there and I watched it, and I heard about this a couple of days, that this guy was, what you see here is Tony Blair. He was a former premier of Great Britain, and I believe he got ousted. He was involved in some corruption, and I believe he either resigned or got ousted. But I remember when he was, in office. So, he's basically a private citizen. So they pulled him. You haven't seen this guy in years, and they just pulled him out of the woodwork, so to speak. And he's pretty much a spokesman for the thing. And he speaks about it. I mean, to me, you should watch the whole video. But the key point starts at around, and just watch the whole video. But into the video, he speaks about the military. He says, look, if you use, he says, if you get the thing, you'll get your liberties back. And he also spoke about using the military. He said when you have the military do something, you tell them to give them orders to do it, and they just go ahead and do it. So when you send in the military, that means there's going to be, people that's going to be locked up, people that's going to be shot and killed. And basically, the military, when they come in, their job is to what? They carry killing weapons, which is whatever weapon, M16, AK-47, whatever they carry, and their sidearms might be a 9mm. So they have those things because they're going to use those things, those weapons, and they're coming in with force and in order. So this is the same thing that's happened or getting ready to happen over here in the U.S. with the warp speed. Look up the word warp speed. So anyway, we know that, we teach that the mark of the beast is the microchip. So now people are saying, well, the mark of the beast could be in the thing. Well, yes, it could be. Or it could be getting your body. I believe it's getting your body ready for the mark of the beast. Because this is a world thing, a world event. But we go through this over and over and over again because we know what this is about. And I don't think they're going to throw this out. I don't think they're going to say, well, it's not working, not more than 50% of people are just not going to take it, so we're going to just throw it out and come up with a new plan. Now that may happen, but I don't think so. They're going to keep pushing it because they have to fulfill the Most High's prophecy. Like I said in previous videos, that the mark of the beast is the Most High's mark. This is the Most High's mark. And how do I know that? Because John saw this happen 2,000 years ago. Esau didn't say, well, we got a plan and we're going to come back in two. No, this is the Most High's mark. This is the ultimate test. So anyway, this video is not so much for the members of GMS, men and women of GMS. This is for all the Israelite camps out there and all Israelites, whether you accept the fact that you're an Israelite or not. Every last one of you is going to be affected. Because this prophecy is going to come to pass. Let me bring you this precept real quick. Bear with me for a minute. And I'm going to try to move. You know, now we try to make these videos straight and to the point. Damn, I can't even think of the day. Oh, it came to me. Romans 3, if I'm not mistaken. Romans 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? So we're telling you that the mark of the beast is the microchip. There's no doubt about it. You have Israelite camps saying it's something else that's bucking up against us. Look, there's a reason behind why we've been putting up these videos concerning the mark of the beast. And this thing, I believe, will lead to the actual chipping. Whether there's microchips or nanobots in there, ultimately you will not be able to buy or sell except he or she have the mark. And that goes for your children as well. Everybody's going to have that mark in them to buy and sell. Now you had I did a video with the IUIC somewhere talking to this Jake with a white shirt on, and he popped up and he asked him, what about the mark of the beast? And that's a thorn in their side, because that question is going to ultimately come to bite them. And the speaker said, it's not talking about the chip. You know, some camps teach that it's the chip, which they don't have scriptures to back it up. Yes, we do have scripture to back it up. And he said something about the mark of the beast is sin. So if you have sin, if you're committing sin on the beast, the beast is gonna issue out the mark, which they're saying is sin. So wait a minute, before the beast came on the scene, we was without sin, and all of a sudden this beast came out and said, you're going to commit sin. That sounds stupid. That's total stupidity. Total stupidity. For you to think that it's sin. Because you sinned before the beast was even... Did not King Solomon sin? Did not the Apostle Paul sin? Did not Israel as a whole sin as a nation? So who made us sin? Did the beast do it? The beast didn't come about until the Roman Empire. That was the fulfillment of the first beast. Then there was how many times we got to go through this? And then there was a new beast that emerged, which is this old beast coming back in this time. The U.S., NATO, the U.S. is a part of NATO, and the EU. And if you want to expand upon it, it's the Roman Catholic Church and all the daughter churches pursuant to was that Revelation the 16th chapter. I beheld 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. The false prophet is what? This world Christianity. That's why when the Pope comes to New York, he come into Harlem. I remember that years ago, back in I believe the 80s. The Pope is coming to New York, but he's coming through Harlem. And these Edomites, they clean Harlem up. They clean that place up. So what is that showing you? That he's a part of that system, that beast system. So it says, Romans 3 verse 3, for what if some did not believe? We're telling you, you're an Israelite. The so-called white men, they go back to they stem from the Edomites. America's Babylon the Great. The mark of the beast is the microchip. Now you have jakes out there that don't believe, and they heard it. You know, the Kemetic community, and the Most High is going to destroy everyone in that so-called conscious community, because we done told them in one way or another. They're aware of the fact that there's men out there telling you that you're Israelites. So instead of them accepting it or even considering it, they're bucking up against it. So you're going to keep bucking until it's too late, and you're going to get destroyed. Romans 3 verse 3 again. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? Ultimately, is because they don't believe it's not going to apply to them. Esau is going to skip them over. Anyway, I'm going to go right into the scriptures. I'm going to try to move fast because I got a handful of precepts. Ezekiel 3 verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, and the wicked, by the way, is referring to the Israelites. It's not talking about the so-called, it's not talking about Esau, the Edomites. Thou shalt surely die, and thou giveth him not warning. And what are we warning you of right now? Why does the GMS, why do we put so many videos out on the mark of the beast? Apostle and Ramlab had put up one yesterday. I was watching it yesterday. It's the same old video. We say the same thing over and over again. We might have a new news article or some old articles, and he broke it down. So the ones of you in GMS already know that we're preaching to the choir, so to speak. So you really don't have to see it, but you might watch it anyway. Just let me watch it. So I watched it. I already know what he's going to say before he said it, but I watched it anyway. The main reason why we're putting this out is to get these other Israelites to finally wake up to it, because groups like ISUPK and groups like IUIC and other groups that are teaching contrary to the mark of the beast being a microchip, you're clearly going off, and you're going to cause a lot of people to be destroyed. And you're going to be destroyed because you didn't warn them. It says Ezekiel 3 verse 18, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from their wicked way to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So you telling like Nate told his nurse to take the thing. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with taking the thing. That he just made a video saying that he ain't gonna take the thing. It's obvious I can't use that word. Anyway, Ezekiel 33 verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come, now that sword is an actual sword, the military's coming, but it's also the mark of the beast. That's a sword. That's something that's going to get you killed. He blow the trumpet and warn the people. That's why we make so many videos ad nauseum, the term is, on the mark of the beast, because that's the next big thing coming. And the destruction will not happen, the destruction will not happen unless and until the majority of the planet, gets the mark. Coming back to that video that IUIC put up, the guy said it's sin. It's talking about sin up in your head and sin down in your hand. Well, wait a minute. It says the only way you can buy and sell, pursuant to Revelation 13, verse 17, it said that no man shall buy or sell except he that had the mark. Let's replace the word mark with sin. No man shall buy or sell except he sin. So these guys in the IUIC, they're saying they don't sin. They keeping the law. You got to keep the law. You wear your fringes. So if you put your pajamas on, you ain't got your fringes on, are you sinning? Huh? You can't buy and sell unless you sin. Unless you're breaking the laws of the Most High. That's what they're saying. So if they were able to step out of that circle and use their brain through their spirit, they would see it. Scriptures say, the blind shall lead the blind, and they shall both fall into a ditch. The scriptures say, the simple believeth every word. So y'all are simple because you don't have your own mind. Ezekiel 33, verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So we believe that we're the house, the watchmen. Because who else is doing that? What people do you know that's out on the highways and the byways and doing videos, constant videos, dealing with Israel, dealing with the mark of the beast, dealing with prophecies, telling you that this place is going to be destroyed, that there's going to be a new kingdom? Ain't nobody doing it, so we got to be the men of the Lord. And we call ourselves the hopeful elect, because the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. And we're doing it. We're doing what the scriptures say. And the most major prophecy, I can't speak on this enough, is the mark of the beast, which we here at Great Millstone been talking about from the heart, because we see it clearly. And these other leaders, either they can't see it because they don't want to see it, they may be getting paid off, I don't know, or the Most High just might have blinded them to that. The Most High speaks about setting up stumbling blocks, and that's a major stumbling block. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, at the Most High's mouth, and warn them from me. Acts 20, verse 31. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn everyone night and day with tears. In other words, the Apostle Paul kept warning them, kept warning them, kept warning them, kept telling them. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me go up a couple of verses. I'll start at the at 20. I mean at Acts 20, verse 27. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High, meaning 100%. That's why we say, we here at Great Millstone say we have 100% knowledge. He said, for I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High. Take heed thereof. So what is part of the counsel of the Most High? The mark of the beast. And that you should not take it. And we tell you what the mark of the beast is. And we're not telling you, we're not giving you the head in your forehead and up in your hand. It says, take heed therefore unto yourself and to all the flock over the which the Holy Spirit have made you overseers. Overseers. You got people out there that take the position of overseers, but they're not true overseers. Because if they were true overseers, look up the word. I was going to look it up, but y'all look it up, man. To feed the church, and I said in the previous video, the church are the Israelites, Acts the 7th chapter, of the Most High, which he hath purchased with his own blood. And that's talking about the elect, because you're going to have millions upon millions of Israelites are going to die the same death as Esau, right here in Babylon, because they didn't take heed. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. These other camps that are teaching you something other than what the mark of the beast is. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn you, everyone night and day with tears. Let me read the 32nd verse. And now, brethren, I command you to the Most High and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up. See, now, the Most High is not dealing with a guy that's not built up. You've been in this thing for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, and you pretty much on the level of somebody that came in maybe 6 months ago. You got to grow in this thing. And to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. Let me read that again. 32nd verse, Acts 20, verse 32. And now, brethren, I command you to the Most High and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up. Next precept, 1 Corinthians 4, verse 14. I write not these things to shame you. And see, that's how the ISUPK and the IUIC take it, like we're trying to shame them. Well, they're going to be ashamed in that day. But as my beloved sons, I warn you, because they're part of our blood. And to be frank, we're supposed to care for them even if they're going off, because they are Israelites. You know, you might get lost in the fact that you go against them so much that you have hate in your heart. You really ain't supposed to have hate in your heart, because either they don't know or they sold out. So we got to warn them. We're telling you the truth, man. That's why we do so many videos on this particular subject, and we're going to continue to do videos. And if you don't like us doing the videos, you don't got to watch it. All you have to do is listen to this one time. It says, 1 Timothy 5, verse 14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded. And that's what we're trying to do, because y'all feeble-minded. Support the weak. Y'all are weak. Be patient toward all men. That's why. That's another reason why we keep putting up videos. We're trying to get it right. We don't want you to eat a missile. But then again, we do want you to eat a missile. No, I'm not going to say that, because you gotta hope. And these guys are going to be the guys in the kingdom that's going to have their head down, pursuant to some shall wake up to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. and they're gonna have their head down. So we're gonna say, that's all right, brother. You here now. You know? You're in the kingdom, don't worry about it. Put your head up. Because, hey, look, we got it right. GMS got it right. GMS always had it right through the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So I had another precept here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, what I did was I clicked on the word unruly. First Thessalonians 5 verse 14.
Strong's G 813. Ataktos.
Ataktos, which means disorderly, out of ranks, irregular, inordinate, immoderate, pleasures, deviating from the prescribed order or rule. The prescribed order of rule is teaching the scriptures the way the scriptures are supposed to be broken down. And Revelation 13 verse 16 and 17 is talking about the microchip, which includes the thing. It says here in St. John 10 verse 12, you can start at 10, but the precept that I'm reading is the 12th verse. St. John 10 verse 12, which says, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd. Let's look up the word hireling.
Strong's G 3411. Misthotas.
Misthotas, which means one hired, a hireling, one that worketh for a wage worker, whether he good or bad, hired servant, hireling, someone that got paid off. It says, John 10 verse 12, and I'm going to read the 13th verse as well. It says, but he that is an hireling, hired, set up to teach a lie, and not the shepherd. A shepherd is what? A shepherd is the one that leads a flock from danger, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and the wolf in this case is the mark of the beast, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf, which is the mark of the beast, catches them and scattereth the sheep, meaning cause the sheep to be destroyed. Because if you take that mark and don't give me that BS, well, at the last minute you can pull it up or you can repent. Here you repent to the Most High, and pursuant to Revelation the 16th chapter, it says that you're going to receive a grievous sore. It says the 13th verse, the hireling fleeth because he is in hireling. He got paid. He don't care about the sheep. He getting paid, and careth not for the sheep. And you got certain videos. You got certain guys that they'll do a video. The last time they might have did a video was 2 years ago. Then something happens, and all of a sudden they pop up out of nowhere, and they'll start doing videos. Then they'll calm down and stop doing videos. You give us one instance where we took off on a weekend, or myself or any top man at GMS, because you got men in GMS that don't know what's going on, that ain't putting up videos like they're supposed to. like me, myself, and others, we put up videos every day. Sometimes we put 2 videos up or 3 videos up in a day. These guys that are teaching you this stuff about you don't got to take the thing, or you can go ahead and take it, or they're saying it's not that. So that therefore you're going to say, in your logic and your feeble mind, you're going to say, well, it's all right to take it. A lot of you, like I said, a lot of you going to get caught out there. First Corinthians 14, I'm going to go to the first 3 verses, then jump down to the 7, 8, and 9 verse. And this, by the way, this you can read the whole chapter. First Corinthians 14, verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. The main gift is that ye may prophesy. And prophesying is greater than charity. When you go a chapter behind to 1 Corinthians 13 chapter, it tells you of all the greatest is charity. Yes, it is, because in the kingdom we will have charity. Then it starts off in the 14th chapter, verse 1, follow after charity, which Paul spoke about in the 13th chapter, and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. The main thing is to prophesy. For he that for he that speaketh in the unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto the Most High. For no man understandeth him, howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries. It says, but he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. When the nurse went up to Nate and asked concerning the thing, he comforted her, but he comforted her in the wrong way. He said, no, you can go ahead and take it. But now he's saying that he ain't going to take it. That's that Highland, man, because he careth not for the sheep. Now, if he was truly a shepherd, he would come back and say, I told a sister, nurse, that ain't nothing wrong with taking it, but here I am. I said, I'm not going to take it. So I'm saying I reverse myself, whatever the term is. Don't take it, because I won't. What I said, I was wrong. He's not going to say that, and I'll be surprised if he does, because he careth not for the sheep. What did Elder Ricard do at the GOCC? He told them people, you got to go out to Egypt and Jordan and all that. And they went out there, and he wasn't there. Then he, I guess he went to England, and he came back over here, and he had them people stranded. And what did they do? They got so pissed off that they threw Israel, the whole Hebrew, the whole concept of being an Israelite, in the garbage because of what he did. So the Most High is going to destroy him. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 7. And even things without life giving sound, meaning instruments, musical instruments that make music, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, you playing the trumpet and you give an uncertain sound, the people are going to say, I'm not going to pay money to see you in concert no more. So when you say that the mark of the beast is something other than what we say it is, which is the microchip, you're giving an uncertain sound, but the people that you're playing the instrument to are tone deaf. So they're not even going to, somebody that's not tone deaf, they're going to say, wait a minute, he went off on that. He can't play, man. Either his trumpet is not tuned right or whatever. Piano ain't tuned, or he just can't play. And I want my money back. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 8, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So what battle are you supposed to be prepared for? The fact that they're going to issue you the mark of give to you the mark of the beast. 9th verse. So likely ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood. And we're telling you, what does Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 and 17 mean? It means what they're going to give you in the form of, whether it be in your arm, whether it be in your head, whether it be in your hand, whether it be your right hand, your left hand. How shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air. And we're not speaking into the air. We're not just talking for the sake of talking. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple more precepts. Isaiah 18 verse 3. All ye inhabitants of the world and dwellers on the earth, see ye, when he lifted up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth a trumpet, hear ye. So ultimately, we are the ones that are blowing the trumpet. Whose trumpet are we blowing? The Most High's trumpet. The Most High blew the trumpet in our ears, and we are to blow the trumpet in your ears, whether you believe it or not. Like I said, you have a lot of Israelites that follow a particular leader, and they like the leader, the way he dressed, the way he looks, the way he speaks, with fair speeches. Romans 16, deceiveth the heart of the people. So people get into that. They like to be entertained. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Grandmaster Jay. He came out of nowhere, and you had all these jakes just flock to him. And now he's not looking too good. And like I said earlier in this video, the simple believeth every word. Matthew 24, they're false messiahs, false teachers, false prophets, which shall deceive many, but they're not going to deceive the elect. Isaiah 58 verse 1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people the Israelite their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. And ultimately, the mark of the beast is sin, because if you take it, that's a sin. That's a heinous sin. And that mark is going to develop into a cancer. Read Revelation, the 16th chapter, the first couple of verses, and then you can read down to the end. Because it says down at the end, matter of fact, you know what? Let me go to it. Instead of talking about it, let me go to it. Revelation 16. Revelation 16, verse 1 and 2. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. That's the destruction. And the first angel went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men, women, children, which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And the image is not talking about a picture of Caesar Borgia. Anybody that's teaching that is a dumbass, is a complete nincompoop. The noisome and grievous sore is from anybody that takes that mark. So what is that mark going to do? That's a physical thing, because that thing is going to ultimately cause cancer. A grievous, noisome and grievous sore is a cancer. Something that cannot be petrifying sore, meaning you try to heal it and it won't heal. That's a cancer. So now let me jump down to the end. I'm just going to go right to the point. Okay, Revelation 16 verse 21. But read this whole chapter if you haven't read it. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, which are the missiles, because John the Apostle didn't say, well, those look like ICBMs to me. They look like cruise missiles to me. No, he didn't see that. He didn't know. He didn't understand the concept of a missile, but he actually saw the missiles pelting Babylon the Great. And he wrote it down. And to him it looked like hailstones. It said every stone about the weight of a talent, and the talent is about 100 pounds. But actually those ICBMs are much more heavier than 100 pounds. But what he saw was gigantic hailstones. And it said, and men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hell, for the plague was exceeding great. That's not what I want. Bear me for a minute. But that was good anyway. This is what I'm going to do here. Let me take the word saw. Okay, I believe I got it. I believe it's the 11th verse. I'll start at the 10th verse. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the sea of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongue for pain, and blasphemed, disrespected the Most High of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. So instead of realizing what they did wrong, the sin that they committed, they're gonna curse out the Most High. And a lot of them are Israelites. So let's go, I believe I read Jeremiah 4 verse 21, how long shall I see the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? You're going to keep hearing it as long as we can go on YouTube. Jeremiah 6 verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. Listen to what they're saying. But they said, we will not hearken. Why won't you hearken? Because our leader says something different than what y'all are saying. And we got nicer garments than y'all. And y'all are bums. So keep following that guy. Keep following Daddy Rich in the purple suit. Ezekiel 33 verse 3, I believe I read that, I'll read this again. When he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Joel 2 verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. In other words, speak this word to the Israelites in the hopes that these words go into the ears of the elect. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. The holy mountain is a people before it's a place. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, meaning you're supposed to hear these words and you're supposed to be afraid. Knowing therefore the terrors of the Lord, I persuade all men. Paul said that. For the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. But before it cometh, Revelation 13, verse 16 and 17. Really, you can start the 15th verse and read down to the 18th verse. Joel 2, verse 15. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. Amos 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? You're supposed to be afraid. When we're telling you what's getting ready to happen, a lot of you have this nonchalant attitude. Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord have not done it? And the mark of the beast is an evil in the city. The destruction is an evil in the city. So who does all these things? The Most High. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.